Welcome to Speaking of the Voice podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Deladia, voice actor, DJ, and hypnotherapist. I'm fascinated with the voice, where it comes from, how we heal it, and how we can use it to better express and connect with ourselves and others. This podcast is a collection of conversations exploring the voice, different tools to heal it, what happens when we connect to our most authentic voice, and how we can courageously create profound impact individually and collectively by speaking up from a heart-centered place. Thanks for joining me here. I hope it helps you heal and empowers you to use your voice in a more authentic way. Are settling into ourselves, our bodies. Let's just take an exhale and inhaling together. And exhaling together, just dropping in, connecting hearts, our breath. And then one more breath, just in honor of ourselves and the thing we're doing. And an exhale in trust and in deep gratitude.
Beautiful. I love starting that way.
Yeah, me too. All the things, by the way. Sometimes I'm in meetings that I'm not running, and I'm like, they're like, all right, let's get started. So on Paige, and I'm like, what? Why aren't we need a collective breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please, can we honor the breath first?
I just shot a pilot for my kids' yoga show that I'm creating, and I had everyone, crew included, take 3 breaths together to start.
It shifts things. You kind of feel like a little tingle or a little goosebump.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, I love it. Oh yeah. I lead group detoxes twice a year. I co-host them with a friend of mine, and we always meet 30 minutes before the group, just to debrief and collect ourselves and to drop in. And we always, no matter if we're running a few minutes late together or what, we always do 3 breaths together. And holy moly, it's so weird. I always feel like the room is spinning and we're all of a sudden right in front of each other. And I really feel like a tingle and a warm sensation on my heart when I imagine my heart's like tethering to her. Man, magic. The power of it is, isn't it?
It's magic, and it's also not. It's also like so simple. It's so easy. It's just breathing. It's just being human, right?
Yeah, a baby doesn't need to understand the words of the woo-woo. They just naturally inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
Or like my nephew is like a year and a half, and he does the funniest little monkey things. His little tongue, I'll look over and all of a sudden he's just like,
you're like, oh, lion's breath.
Yeah, exactly. Good. This is good behavior.
Don't forget it.
When you're upset in 3 seconds, don't forget it.
Yes.
Yeah, we know young. It's so funny because we've never had this conversation before, really. But when I first met you, I knew immediately that you're one of those friends that we never had to have these conversations because it was like an immediate download. Like, I could just look at you or say 1 or 2 things. I could just make a joke about lion's breath and you would immediately know.
Well, and also when we met, it was like so loud and everyone was like in line to meet our AJ, and we like immediately connected in this chaos.
Totally.
It was really special.
I remember that tiny little corner felt like a safe bubble in a weird way. It was very strange. It really was almost in the middle of foot traffic. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. So, Alex and I are both voice actresses, and we met at our voice agency's like company Christmas party. I have to say the name because I think it's so freaking clever. So we're both repped by Vox, and the holiday Christmas party is called Invoxication.
Yep.
So good.
So good.
I enjoyed that party.
That one was nice. Yeah. And I was actually on my way out. And as I was like, okay, gotta say hi to the agent. Yeah. And we met for like 5 minutes. We exchanged numbers. I think we talked about Burning Man and DJing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And briefly we talked about your relationship with Vox, because at the time I was still pretty new.
Yeah.
I was a year in. Yeah, wild ride. So we met and then maybe said hi on Instagram like maybe 3 to 5 times in that year.
Yeah.
And then but it was like the vibes were always good, and it was kind of always one of those things like at some point we're going to check in with each other. And then I got certified in hypnotherapy this past fall, and Yeah, you showed interest to working together.
You posted something because you wanted to practice, and you were like, hey, anyone down to like be a guinea pig? And I was like, I love being guinea pigs because I did that when I was first certified in Reiki, and I just went, I can't charge money for this until I have enough practice. So I was offering it for free. Mind you, during COVID, I'll tell you that whole story. And I met all these like new people because I just offered my services of Reiki to practice. And I created my own apprenticeship, basically. I was like, I'm going to work on 50 to 75 people for free and to like build up my confidence and my rapport with this practice. Yeah,
that
so
sounds
I was
familiar.
like, I love to do that for other people. I'm like, I will help build your confidence.
You're a wonderful first, second, third-ish client. It gets a little blurry when you're like graduating and working because what I realize is like, even if you're practicing, no, the work still be working. So, but I will say that after my session with you, I felt really confident. I walked in thinking I have, maybe I'm starting at like 10 or 20%. And I walked out of that session feeling like, I'm like, oh, I'm like more like 75, 80% there. And I'm really just fine tuning.
You were 100% there. It was a beautiful session. You took me back to like my birth. Remember? That was wild.
Crazy. Okay, we're skipping ahead. Okay,
yes,
we're skipping ahead.
We're too excited. We're too excited.
Okay, so please, if you don't mind, give me a little lowdown on your get down of who you are, where you come from, your journey with the arts and your energy work, and catch us up till now.
Okay. Well, I am 4th generation Los Angelite, and grew up in Pasadena, San Marino area.
I love Pasadena.
I know Pasadena's. It's a special little pocket of Los Angeles. I know. I'm like, I don't like to tell people.
I know it was LA's best kept secret until the fires put Altadena on the map. Anyway.
But I don't think it's going to lose its charm. It's still wonderful. Okay, so spent my formative years there. We had a really wonderful theater program at my high school. But actually rewind a little bit. My first role ever was Nana the dog in Peter Pan, because I was a terrible singer. Like, I would audition. We only had musicals in middle school, and I always wanted to be in them. I wanted to be on stage because I did like a puppet show in 2nd grade where I like memorized all my lines as the narrator, and I was so good, and everyone praised me.
Oh my God, her first hint at being an amazing voice actress. Yeah.
I was a narrator. I guess that was my first role. Yeah. Fast forward to middle school. I never got in until 8th grade because my 2 friends that were Peter Pan and Tiger Lily like told the director, they're like, you have to put Alex in. So they cast me as Nana the dog since I had no singing lines, just barking.
Generous. It's giving bed former, but what a resume builder. Do you sing? Some people are soprano, alto, you're dog.
I'm dog.
You're passing out.
I'm dog and talk singing. Because then I'll tell you about how I'm like forcing myself to sing now. I'm going all over the place. So middle school, Nana. Then in high school, we actually had theater. We didn't just have musical theater. So I never got in another musical, but I kept doing theater. And I booked my starring role freshman year in The Effective Gamma Rays in Man in the Moon Marigolds. And it was double cast because it was so small. It was only 3 women in the roles, and my cast was better. And so it built up my confidence. And then I went to college.
I love that you sang that too.
Right? I know. I can sing. Come to find out, I can sing. But when you tell me to sing, when you put music in front of me, I'm like, I don't know how to sing.
Oh, I want to do some hypnotherapy around that.
Yeah, we might have to.
Well,
we might have to do it. Yeah, okay.
Part 2 of your voice themed hypno. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Then I went to college in Denver, University of Denver, a little private school. Studied art history, theater, and French. I was too scared at this point to major in theater, so I minored in it. I was like on the outskirts of the community, because I just like didn't want to put all my eggs in that basket. And I wasn't confident enough that was going to be my career, even though when I was like 12, all I ever wanted was to go to the Academy Awards. So yeah, the confidence like came and then kind of dropped a little bit as I was going through coming out of adolescence.
And contribute that to?
Oh, that's such a fantastic question. I think I attribute it to my late blooming. So like I did not get my moon cycle until I was 16. I've always been really skinny. I was born 6 weeks early. And I'm a twin. And so because in my head, confidence came from being like liked and popular, which I was because I was funny and silly and sweet. So it wasn't that I wasn't liked, but I didn't look like a feminine girl. I didn't have boobs. I still don't have boobs, but like I wasn't confident in my body type, even though I was like skinny and that was cool because of Mary Kate and Ashley.
Oh my God. The Olsen twins. I freaking love the Mary Kate and Ashley movies. Are you kidding me?
Me too.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so that's how I attribute to the loss of confidence. But I always was still really great at giving presentations. I was always really still fantastic at performing and still loved it, but I was scared. So fear was getting in the way. And then I came back to LA and I was like, okay, I'm going to be an actor. I did like a Euro trip with my sister and her now husband. 22.
Okay, early 20s.
Right out of college.
LA.
Yeah.
College grad.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to do it. And this was back when you had to go in person to audition for everything.
I do miss those days.
I'm at that time, it was really challenging, but now I miss it.
Yeah, same.
So I was in my car all the time. I had no yoga practice, no meditation practice. I didn't know anything about all that. And so I was crying all the time. I was driving in traffic in LA to student films, not booking them, thinking like, why am I not getting work that's not even paid work? And like was trying to do like the restaurant thing, but I was so bad at it. I like hosted at a restaurant for like a month and I was like, I fucking hate this. Even though I love acting, I can't do this. And then I worked in fashion at Barney's in Beverly Hills back in the day before it went bankrupt and did personal shopping. My journey's kind of like all over the place. And then, but I still kept doing acting classes just to like keep it there. I was like, I'm still going to act, but I have a full-time job. Didn't do any acting other than class, which is still at this point in my life, I'm like, that's still important acting, to show up.
It all informs. It's all data in some capacity. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like, ooh, fashion's not for me, even though I love expressing myself that way. I don't want to work in that space. So then I went to grad school in London for contemporary art. For contemporary art. And spent a year there, which was probably more for self-development. And that's when I really dove into yoga.
Because spiritual awakening happened there. Is London on one of your astrocartography points?
Oh my God, I didn't ask that when I did that.
Oh, we about to open it up. Not right now, but I'm so curious.
I know some other places that are on my chart for specific things, but I don't know about London.
I'm so curious about that.
Anyway, so I got my graduate degree in contemporary art, came back to LA again and was like, well, I don't want to sell art to the same people I sold clothes to, because that's the same community that was what my brain said. And then
different kind of collection.
Yeah. Acting kept pulling me in. I was in my Saturn return when I got back because I was about 26. And I ended up working in production design in the photography industry because my brother-in-law is in that industry. Another friend of mine asked me to do costumes on a movie, on like an independent film he was doing, and ended up then introducing me to the director as the production designer. And I'm like, what? I was like, I didn't even know what it meant.
You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah. And then the director was like, oh, okay, so we're going to put a piano over here. Do you think you can source that? And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, don't you want to be taking notes? And I'm like, okay. So I get my phone out and start being like, piano, cafe. And I pulled my friend aside. I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's like, oh, but maybe you could just like get a few props. Like it's going to be fine. And I'm like, oh. And so
a piano?
I did it. We ended up not doing the piano, but I remember pulling like my grandmother's kitchen table that I have in my house into my car, taking it on set, like all this shit. And someone on set
you
was
were like a film moving company.
Honestly, that's what production design was. And so this guy on set was like, oh, how long have you been doing production design? And I'm like, first time ever. And he went, really? I thought you're acting like a professional. Like it looks like you've been doing this forever. And I went, I am an actor.
And you're a woman.
And I'm a woman. So I did that for about a year, but not in film. I did it in photography, which is way easier. Worked for a great guy named Jamie Dean. And
I can't believe you did that for a year.
I know. But what it did offer the opportunity for me to do was get my yoga teacher training, because we would work for a week and then we'd be off for a week. We'd work for 3 weeks and then we'd be off for a month. So my schedule was really dependent on the jobs we would get. And my boss went to India for like a couple weeks, and it was the perfect timing for me to go do this yoga teacher training in Santa Barbara at this place called White Lotus before the show. And I have a White Lotus tattoo. There
because of it, I imagine.
No, before.
Oh,
I got this tattoo before. I know. And the reason I bring that up is because this is what all led to my Reiki training. So I only did yoga teacher training because I was more interested in the history of yoga, because I had gotten so into it in London to ground me. It was like the only thing I could find, because I was floating. I am definitely someone who lives in the upper chakras much more easily than the lower. Very cosmic. So as you can see with my pink hair. And that's why it's easy to play as an actor, because I'm like, oh, I can go up here and wherever, my heart, my throat, my third eye. Yes. But when you need me to go down into the roots, it's a little more challenging. But I can, like, when I do it, it works, So,
I do, actually, because I'm kind of similar.
Yeah, I had a feeling. That's
surprisingly.
probably why we connected so quickly and easily.
No doubt. I mean, I have my YTT as well. I got it in Bali. And by the way, similar. Something that was grounding me, was really just interested in diving deeper into the practice, because I was like, what is this? That's like a really dependable anchor for me. It was like I was having a spiritual awakening before I realized it, just dropping into a yoga class. And and then it was also like around my mid-20s, I would say. And since then, it continues to be one of the most anchoring practices. And that's a combination of, or any one of the three, or in combination of meditation, pranayama, or asana.
Yes.
The actual yoga exercise practice poses.
Yeah. The movements in your body, putting your body in shapes.
Put it in an organized structure, which reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from a teacher. I'll never forget this. I was 25 and it hit me like, poof, it was like a slow motion moment, and I still remember it. And she said, there's freedom in structure, and it has helped me so much.
Oh, I got full body chills when you said that.
I get this. I love being the balloon. I love being ethereal and out there and mystical and divine feminine and all of that. And then at the same time, like, I am human and I am in this body and I must pay my bills and I must be organized in order to bring my ideas and all of my creativity into reality. So, 25 and 33 now. I mean, that, even just reflecting on that for 8 years and how it's developed and opened up and continues to impact.
I wish someone had said that to me at 25, because what I did, I'm a double Virgo with more Virgo in my chart. Because of my Sagittarius moon, I tried to
Thank God for that.
Thank God for it. Yes. But what I did was, like, I connected more deeply to the Sag moon, and I tried to create my life without structure. for like 10 years. So I did my yoga teacher training and I was like, I'm not going to teach yoga. I'm just going to do it. And then I went, oh, I'm actually a very good teacher, which I always kind of had been. I would teach my twin sister like math because I just happened to be better at it than she was. And so I always enjoyed the act of teaching. My dad always thought I was going to be a teacher in a more formal sense. And then I went, oh, maybe I should. The teacher training I did was 2 weeks in Santa Barbara at this beautiful ashram, which the ashram's still there, but they don't do the teacher training anymore.
What was it rooted in? What was the
It was non-dogmatic. They kind of gave you a taste of everything.
Oh, great. Did you get intro to Ayurveda?
A little tiny bit. Not
they focus
much.
more on chakra, the root system?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was sort of like an overview of it was basically rooted in hatha yoga, but like they would throw in some like pieces of other, like a little ashtanga, a little vinyasa, a little yin, a little kundalini, a little chanting here and there, but none of it was like you must do it this way.
Well, they only have what, 200 hours?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, so this program, you would go for 2 weeks and then you would go home and teach 25 classes by yourself and get feedback from your students, like literally written. It was a packet of paper where people would write down feedback. You'd have to ask the students after and be like, hey, can you write down what you thought of this class? So they were like, you can do it.
It's kind of terrifying.
It was cool though. You could do it any way you wanted. They were like, you can do family members. You can go to your church. You could go to a professional studio. Any way you wanted to do it.
Could it be a dog? No, I'm serious. Dog yoga's a thing.
Yes. Well, I didn't have my dog yet. Yeah, they can't. Maybe they could put their paw print of approval. Because now anytime I take my yoga mat out at home, my dog is right there next to me. Like, oh, time to play and chew your mat. So I ended up teaching. I ended up doing it. And at the same time, there's my dog.
He heard.
He knew. They always know.
She said, I start teaching. He's like, I'm coming. My town dog is ready.
Let the world know I exist.
Remember when he barked in your session?
Oh my God.
Our dog is super intuitive.
And I will tell you a story about when I was getting my channeling certification, what he did. It was so powerful and beautiful. I'm going to put a plug on that little story and tell you in a second. Pin, not plug, a pin. I always say the wrong thing. I always think I know the little idiom and I say it
right there.
Slightly wrong.
Right there. You knew it wasn't right, but it was like, huh, that's fine. Close enough.
I would be a really good sitcom character.
Undoubtedly.
Please. Okay. And since I've done many other trainings, I started teaching kids yoga, which is my favorite. But as I was teaching, and I was teaching at this one particular studio in Pasadena, every time I got really into yin yoga and I taught a lot of that. And every time I did shavasana, this was pre-COVID, I would do the thing where you press on people's third eye and pull it out. And then I'd press on their shoulders. And a lot of clients would be like, oh, are you also doing Reiki when you do that? And I was like, no, what? What's Reiki? And they'd be like, oh, I feel energy when you're pushing your thumbs on me. Like it must be in your hands. And I'm like, huh. And I got that so many times. And then I was on a yoga retreat in Kyoto, and this woman that was on the retreat knew much about Reiki. And we were doing this massage exchange in one of the classes on the retreat. And she also mentioned Reiki. And so I got back from Kyoto and I was like, oh, I need to do this Reiki thing. But I didn't do it until 3 years later. That was 2017. And then in 2020, during COVID, was really when I dove even deeper into my spiritual practices. I did my Reiki training. My God, I'm just realizing this now. The weekend I got my Reiki training is when I got my dog that I'm pointing out there. I got Hugo. Same weekend. I went to pick him up that morning. He was 3 months old. I got him in Lancaster and he was little scared desert dog. Anyway, he's now still scared and anxious, but full of beans. Almost 6 now. Okay, so I did the Reiki training in 2020. And then, as I was saying at the beginning of this podcast, I did an apprenticeship for myself. I went, okay, I'm going to go work on people that I know, people that I don't know, and I'm going to do this thing called Reiki on them that I'm now attuned to. And then I sort of was able to develop my own practice, which I still need to work on you. We still need to.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to do Reiki with
Like right
you.
now? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. 3 hours later.
So I developed my own sort of voice and practice, and then I did a channeling intensive. I did an intuitive intensive, and so when I do Reiki, I kind of add in whatever wants to come through. I kind of ask spirit, I ask my guides, and whoever I'm working with is guides. It's a co-creation. Like, what does this person need? Tarot, oracle cards, crystals, any messages from grandparents, or like whatever wants to come through, and I allow it if that person is open to receive it. Otherwise, we'll just do energy healing. But generally speaking, when I work on someone, we get messages, and it's really fun for both of us, and things come through and healing happens. And the channeling intensive, when I did that, I'll tell you that little story about my dog. I was channeling Archangel, which I can't remember which archangel, but it was a really intense one that has to do with death and passing on. It's like one of the angels that like helps you cross over.
Oh,
It's not
yeah,
Michael.
it's not
It might be
Gabriel.
Uriel, Archangel Uriel. Okay, yeah. Oh, wow.
We must know.
We must
Handy dandy Google. Azrael.
Azrael, that's who it was. Very intense energy. Someone was asking me about if they were supposed to end their marriage. And I was like, all right, we're going to go in and check. And I was like, this is a really intense question, but because of the way I channel energy, the answer did not come out harsh or like an absolute yes, you should. It was Archangel Azrael and Hugo, because Hugo, my dog, the energy was so intense. He sat on my lap, which he had never done. He was like a little bit too wild of a puppy to do that. And I didn't know he did it. And everyone was watching because it was a Zoom class. And so my eyes were closed. I'm channeling. He sits on my lap. I don't even feel it because the channeling is so intense. And then basically, I think the answer that came through was like, yes, you should probably end your relationship if you want to grow spiritually and da-da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, if that's coming from Azrael of all of them, you know?
Yeah, you might want to take that advice. I don't know what happened to that woman. I don't know her anymore. If she ended her marriage or whatever. Hugo, immediately after I came back out from channeling and let that energy kind of shift, he jumped off my lap and threw up. Because he was holding.
Oh, for sure. He helped you transmute and
yeah.
Wow, he's protecting you.
Yeah.
It's so coincidence that he came into your life at the time of CERD and
yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, that explains all the synchronized barking a little bit more.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it when it's so obvious, and then sometimes when it's so obvious, I'm like, spoiler alert. Come on.
I know, and it's so simple. And like, so since all of that, I have learned the simplicity of my purpose on this planet is joy. And that's the word that always comes through when I'm like getting confused and being like, why am I doing this thing? Why am I doing acting? Why am I doing kids yoga? Because fast forward, I've really focused on the kids yoga. I still teach adults. I still love doing Reiki on people, but I tend to do Reiki as a sort of gift and exchange more than like charging money for it. It's just the path I've chosen right now. Who knows what the future holds? Because I do really enjoy that work and the healing. Like, you know, as a hypnotherapist, I'm curious, when you're working on others, like you're also receiving healing energy, right?
Yeah. It's something I've been thinking about because you know, I'm working with the subconscious mind, and I'm also inviting mine into the room. Even though I'm consciously guiding you, I do find there to be some residue of the session on me afterwards. And because of the way that I work in the sessions too, it does leave a little bit of an imprint. Now, it doesn't scare me because, you know, my intention with my work is to be in the light and in alignment with like the higher vibration and what's best for collective and self and
love that you mentioned that, because I have had a friend ask, what about like, do you ever get scared of like the energy, or like if you're feeling something intense for someone? I'm like, I'm not healing. I'm facilitating this person to heal themselves. I'm a vessel to help, right? But as long as you just state the intention of being in the light and the highest vibrational frequency, that's it. That's all I have to do. Personally, things don't tend to cling to me when I'm doing healing work. I've never.
Yeah, there's different ways of protecting yourself energetically when you're working in a space like that. It's one of the main reasons I have a discovery call, is because I'm interviewing you as much as you're interviewing me. I don't work with everybody, and that's not coming from an arrogant place. It's actually coming from a place of safety. And it's also coming from a place of humility that I'm not.
You're not everyone's cup of tea. Nobody is.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly because I'm ayahuasca. I'm not tea. And not everybody's ready for that. Not everybody's ready for that, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
And the tool and the modality, the practice of hypnotherapy is also not for everybody, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
So,
like yoga's not for everybody.
You know?
It's for everybody, but it's not for everybody. I will tell you, my twins, dad joke. My twin sister hates yoga. Hates it.
Let me hypnotize her. I'm just kidding. It's not like that.
She's into Ayurveda. She's into acupuncture. She's got her woo side, but she refuses to do yoga.
Yeah, you know what? There's no right or wrong way to find your seat, to get to know yourself, to transmute energy, to help your body move through things. And mind you, this is like a very woo-woo conversation. And at the same time, I love talking to folks who just get up, they do their Wim Hof breath work, and they do their workout, and they go for a walk and have like a meeting with themselves. And I'm like, oh, you are doing all the things. You're just calling them different words and doing it essentially from more of like a scientific approach than you are from a spiritual approach. Yeah. And amazing. You're doing it.
It's all the same, right?
That is it. You're not bypassing. So thank you.
Yes. Speaking of science and spirituality, I think they're one and the same. And
different language, but
different language. Yeah. And I had a summer fling with a science brain, and he could not connect the dots. He thought they were totally separate. He was like, no, but you can't explain this thing. And
that's it. He lacks ability to hold the mystery. He's too black and white. He's too science. But the thing is, if he was really a scientist, he would consistently get to an ellipses.
Yep.
And maybe even arrive to like, oh, I see God through a microscope.
Thus it was only a fling and no longer.
Thus I have released him back to the labs.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Oh my God. Thanks for sharing your story. I always welcome when I have a new friend too, because I get so excited to meet someone and hear all the things, but just to have like a good download now. Yum. So thanks. I'm so curious about your voice through all of this. Like my first question in your rant, if I can remember all of them, but what you learned about your voice when you were doing fashion consulting.
Oh, when I was in personal shopping.
Yeah. Wow, and even if that, like same question for production design, but I wonder if they're kind of one and the same through different lenses.
Totally. They are. Interestingly, I was assisting for both of those jobs. So like I was assisting the personal shopper. And so I never felt like my voice mattered that much. But because my sense of, so in the fashion part, because I express myself through my fashion sense and clothes, and I always have, like my mom kind of taught me that, and I sort of innately have always enjoyed that.
Which, by the way, is a way of expressing your voice.
Yes, it is. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I always wanted to speak up and like help these women or tell them things, but I always felt like, oh, I'm too small. Like I'm just the assistant and they don't want to hear about what I had to say. But as the months went on, I only worked there for a year. They did start to trust my opinions and my voice, really. because probably I expressed my voice through my clothing and they respected that. And they were like, oh, she's stylish. Like, what does she think? And I was more stylish than the personal shopper. So
I'm also just hearing authentic. That's what screams louder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I really always have been myself through my clothes, but maybe not so much myself. I've like grown into myself as I'm almost 40. I'm 38.
Oh my God.
I'm 38 years old.
I'm sure you've told me before, and I'm sure I was equally as shocked.
Thank you. I had a child at a Christmas party a couple weeks ago guess my age, and he said 37, and I went, that's the closest anyone's ever got.
You're like, yeah, but no.
Why would you think that?
Yeah, why would you tell the truth?
I know. I'm like, I know I don't have any Botox, but like,
you're a ruiner. You're a fun ruiner.
Yeah,
that's how old you are.
Age is but a number. Anyway, and then in production design, my boss really did care about what I had to say because I got my master's in contemporary and he was an artist making money doing production design. So he had his own like expression through sculpture and he was a fantastic artist. And then, like every Andy Warhol, you got to make money commercially somehow. So he would do production design and he was also very good at that. But he trusted me and that's where my voice really kind of developed even more. So as these people who I was working for started to trust me, I was able to like speak up. Whereas like as a kid, I will never forget this. I really, really wanted an American Girl doll, but I never told my mom. She totally would have bought me one. I had friends that had them. My sister didn't want one, so she never said anything. I told her the other day, and she's like, I didn't know you wanted that. Why the fuck didn't you say something? But I just like kept it to myself and I wouldn't speak up as a kid because again, I am 4th generation Los Angeles white Anglo-Saxon. Like I have the ancestral history of keeping quiet and being a proper person, a proper lady.
Were you burned at the stake?
No, I wasn't. Okay, I just got a huge no. I wasn't burned at the stake. Okay, no, I guess my soul.
No.
But I have had a session. What is it called when you go back to your past lives? The book,
Past Life Regression.
Past Life Regression. So I have had
almost. We got to the womb.
Yeah, we did. I know. I have done some past life regression, and I have been a healer many, many times.
Sure. But that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, one specific time I didn't speak up. I did my healing work, but I kept it to myself, and I never pursued it in that lifetime. And so that's sort of been a pattern of mine. And so pursuing it in this lifetime, I think is really powerful. And like, I have so many big plans moving into 2026 for healing children through kids yoga and like TV shows.
Help the babies, please.
Yes.
I'm so glad to hear it.
So yeah, I feel like I'm also a generator, a 4/6 generator, and we tend to, as a 4/6 profile in human design, if anyone is familiar with that, I'm pretty sure you know a little bit about it.
I'm familiar on the ish, but definitely not enough to explain it. If anyone doesn't know what human design is, you can liken it to astrology, but it has its own rules and its own format, and but it too is essentially a sacred mirror developed based on your birth chart and placement that really helps you to just understand how you show up in the world.
Yeah. I'm also ish. I know like a couple things, but I do know 4/6 profile tends to I don't like the word peak, but develop really into themselves in their 40s. So like the decade of the 40s. So.
Our fruit is almost in its ripest stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that makes sense. Right on time with the astrology that's coming then.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't sleep at 4 a.m. So of course I was reading the astrology for 2026 and I didn't like it. So I started reading for 2027.
That's amazing.
And I didn't really like that either. So I was like, I think I just need to get an astrologer. I don't want to leave this up to Google anymore.
I need a professional to tell me.
I need someone to tell me it's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay, Alicia.
Oh my goodness.
Well, okay,
Amazing.
yes, the voice and all of that,
The
and then,
voice, you become a voiceover artist in
oh,
all of that.
I forgot. Yes,
I forgot too.
while I was doing production design, I got myself back on Actors Access because I had a lot of free time between jobs. I was like, "You know what? I took an improv class and I'm like, I'm gonna do it again." Like the call just kept coming back to
Yeah.
acting in my heart. And I was like, I don't want to give this thing up. And then on Actors Access, I got a voiceover audition for this cartoon. I don't know if this ever came out. It was like about wrestlers, and they like made them like real wrestlers at whatever I don't know that world.
Yeah, like the WWE,
Yeah.
like,
It was like they made them into babies in a cartoon, and it was like supposed to be like funny about like what they would be like as babies. And so they for some reason were casting people that looked like the wrestlers, and I looked oddly similar to this one from my headshot. And so they called me in for the voiceover audition. It was such a janky audition. They had like a tiny little tape recorder thing and a podium. And I just went in there and there was no director. It was just like, okay, you're just going to go in and like record your thing. And it was the weirdest audition I ever had.
That's so weird.
But I had so much fun. And I'm
Mm.
like, what is this? And I started asking some friends that I knew that were actors if they knew anything about voiceover. Again, this was around 27, 28, my Saturn return, that it
Mhm,
like just
mhm.
dropped into my
Pop,
lap.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah, it
started,
finds you. It
yeah.
does.
And at that time, the millennial voice was very popular.
Right,
And I
right.
sound very millennial still, which is,
Well, you also have a higher register voice, which does
yeah.
contribute to that.
Yeah. So at that time, I just started booking work. I got on Voice 123 when we
Ugh.
could still do that shit. And I just started booking because I was of the zeitgeist at that time.
Mm.
So,
And then foot in the door and the ball kept rolling, and then here we
yeah.
are.
And here we are.
Really cool.
The ball's a little stuck at the moment.
Well, we met in September for hypnotherapy, and
Yes.
I'll kind of let you take the lead on that conversation, just to kind of follow your lead on how much you want to share.
Oh, yeah.
But
Always.
I'm so curious, especially now that we're really in hindsight of that.
Yes.
I'm so
Okay.
curious about your experience, especially as a Reiki healer, because you're not foreign to energy work. And yeah, we'll start there. But
So I
yeah.
have had many other friends work on me through hypnotherapy, and I just love the modality so much because I'm very visual, and I think it's so cool how you like take people back to like different parts of their life to like see experiences, and then like I get really like, as you experienced when you were working on me, I'm like, oh, this one. Oh, I see this thing. And then I see this thing. And this is what's happening. And it's so fun for me to describe. And then it's like, oh, and then why am I going to this memory? Oh, because I have to heal this thing, this like tiny little experience that happened that informed so much of my life. And so I just think this work is so cool and powerful. These things in your subconscious mind that like created your conditioning and like your belief system. And you're like, I don't know exactly why I believe that I'm not worthy to speak up. Oh, it's because this one teacher said this one thing to me in passing that probably they didn't even think about. And then I held on to that.
It's that part. It's the moment when you feel pain or traumatic moment, and then you believe something false about yourself, and that belief, that becomes your new belief system. And whether you're conscious about it or not, and most of the times we're not conscious about it, it is running 95% of the things that you do and you say.
Yeah, I know. It's so wild.
It's pretty
So
wild.
the session we worked on. Oh,
Mhm.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you just brought up your first scene, and then I remember your second scene. I asked you how old you were, and you had arrived, and you were actually a little older. You were like 20 or something. But I remember you specifically said, you're like, wait, I'm in this room, but I've been here before. I've done so much healing around this. I don't understand like why I'm here now. And I remember you were feeling like, am I making this up? Am I kind of projecting or like controlling the session? And My whole rule as a hypnotherapist is like always trust what comes up. Just always trust. Even if it doesn't make sense, let's lean on the side of what if it does make sense? Let's just
Yes.
explore what's there. And I remember like when you said that you were like looking at the room from this way, and then I was like, no, let's keep going. And we just started one thing at a time and uncovering, and then the whole thing flipped and you saw it from a different lens. And then you were like, whoa, oh my gosh. Okay, I was trying to take you to the third scene, but I could just see your life was like flashing before your eyes. You were seeing all of these moments. It like unlocked something. You were seeing all of these moments in your life that moment where you started believing whatever you believed had affected moving forward. That was so crazy.
That's so cool that you could like see all of the energy like moving and shifting. And now that you're talking about it, I'm remembering, and I'm gonna try to get this into like a nice little, I don't know, never mind, not nice. Okay, I'm just gonna go into it. Yes, I'm gonna be messy. I went into this memory where I have done a lot of healing that I call my spiritual awakening. I just spit. And I will go into the detail. It's a little graphic. But I had this crazy thing happen to me where basically I was coming back to the non-confidence in my body. I had not had many sexual partners, and I was having a fling with this guy. And he basically like ripped open my vagina. Like I had to get surgery and like all this stuff. I told you, I'm pretty sure I told you about that, right?
I don't remember that.
That's the room.
Violent.
Yeah, no, it was a bit violent, but because I'm like such a light, bright being, I made it funny.
Okay.
Funny.
Anyway, here we are again.
So yeah, okay. So I had that crazy experience. I had to go to the hospital. It was not rape. It was not like his fault. Like we didn't have chemistry. We tried to have sex. My body said no, but I didn't know my body that well. And so I just let it happen. I was also kind of drunk, and it was the middle of the night, and I just sort of went, okay, I guess this is sex, because I'd only had like 1 or 2 sexual partners, and like none of them were boyfriends. So
How old were you?
I was like 22 or 23.
I'm just tracking the timeline of you growing into your voice and really stepping into your power and saying what you need and understanding what you need internally.
Yeah, all of that is intertwined with this.
That was the second scene, the hospital. Oh, click, click, click.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So I have done so much healing around that. And then fast forward to now, since we did our session, I have done this beautiful work with this woman called the Awakened Healer. It's like supple cervix, cervical orgasm stuff. It's like internal work.
Oh, right. We did briefly touch on cervix.
So it was like I had done so much healing in the body emotionally, but never like physically. And because this thing that happened to me was so physical, it was literally the internal walls of my vagina were ripped open, like as if I had a baby or something. And I never healed the internal walls. And so many women are unfamiliar with their pelvic floor muscles and with the role of the pelvic floor. And it's a muscle. Your internal walls of your vagina, I didn't know we were going to get into this, but like I love talking about this stuff. They're muscles. They need to be massaged like anything. Sometimes they're too tight and weak. Sometimes they're too strong and tight. Sometimes they're too strong and they're loose. There's like all different combinations of muscular stuff going on in there. And so since our session, I have done that healing. I have rebranded my whole kids yoga business. I filmed my pilot for my kids yoga TV show that I've always dreamed of having, because one of my other dreams is to combine my voiceover with my yoga, with my acting. And I finally filmed the pilot. I had like a fantastic producer, director, DP, sound, like I did it all, green screen, blah, 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 and I can't wait to actually put it all together.
I can't wait. Congrats. Oh my goodness.
It's called Lil Bodie and Me. I love that I'm going from like vagina orgasms to like kids show.
It's all the same. I will bring you back to vaginas in a second.
Yes. But this is all since we did our healing. Oh, and the guy I had the fling with over this past summer. I was sort of in the midst of the end of that when we did our session. Totally released,
Let it go.
gone.
Cut the
I am
cords.
no longer interested in fuckboys. I am only interested in a deep healing relationship and partnership. Yeah. I only am letting in another man who is interested in growing together. Otherwise, I don't care. I can satisfy myself that way. So
She's like, I have a regular pelvic floor routine. Oh my God. Thanks for sharing all of that.
I forgot. Okay, the other piece of our hypnotherapy session was when we went back to my
To the
birth, to the
womb.
womb, and literally, I think I said I've always known I came out first before my sister. It was a C-section, and I was like front and center. Look at me, get me out, because my sister was like curled up in a ball to the point where they weren't 100% sure what her gender was because they couldn't see her until she came out. I know.
She's
But
like,
which is so Julie. It's like so perfect. And then I heard something the nurses said. This is what came out in the hypnotherapy session was I heard the nurses say something about how I was like front and center and like poor Julie, who's my sister. They were like that poor little one that was curled up in the corner. And so for a lot of my lifetime until our hypnotherapy session, I would always apologize for being too big, apologize for being
first,
chosen,
number one.
Yes, having pink hair, expressing myself through acting, being loud, being in people's faces. I always have had a little bit of like, oh, don't do it too much because Julie's there too. But it's so funny because like my dream of being seen and heard in front of thousands and millions of people is also her dream for me. She's like, I would love for your kids' show to be so big that you're the next Blippi or Miss Rachel. Yes, please.
I was thinking Miss Rachel too when you were sharing about your pilot.
Yes. Actually, my producer has worked on Miss Rachel.
It's just a matter of time. Build it and it will come. I'm a huge believer in that. As long as you hold the vision and you keep taking the action steps towards it, which is actually low-key the formula for manifestation, it's really just a matter of time. And mind you, like, even if it's not through that way, it's it's opening up your imagination in a more expansive way than before. So the only thing I was going to interrupt you and say when you were talking about the womb is what you ended up by theming your session on. Do you remember what your hypno session was themed on? I think it was on like why, like it was something about being second, or
sometimes I forget because I'm like so in the energy of it. And
there's a lot of feeling that happens in the session itself. And then and then there's like the talk back when there's things that I saw that happened during the session that I can, share some perspective and also like my intuition, blah, blah, blah. All my magic comes together and everything that's happened.
I will say you are so talented at that, at all of it. And like I just remember feeling so held by your energy and so safe. Like the reason I was able to go so deep is because you held the container, right? Like I trusted you so quickly and easily and felt so like, I was like, oh, I'm just going to hand over the guidance and she can take the reins and help. Like, I just like, I didn't have to do anything because I trusted you so easily. And,
mind you, just to piggyback, like I'm just following your subconscious.
Co-creation, right?
Totally. But I'm never in the driver's seat. It's forever you. And that's actually my consistent work with as a hypnotherapist is like, ooh, it's not about me. It's like ego aside. Like, it's really like, it's the healing comes maybe through, but it's not me. You said that earlier.
I did say that earlier.
I really do feel the same thing.
Which is
more of a conduit.
It's so funny because as the person receiving the healing, we never think we're the ones guiding the shit. I'm like as like the person with my eyes closed getting the healing, I'm like, oh right, I'm gonna trust them. They're guiding me. They're doing it. But it's actually me. Yeah. It's so funny. I know that as the practitioner, but as the receiver, I'm like, oh right, it's not. I don't have to do it, but it is me. Yeah.
It's like you said, it is in co-creation. What else?
I
What
know, I'm
else
like, did we
feels
get
like
let's
relevant
see.
right
Yeah,
now?
we've
Well, we
talked.
covered so much and and really moved through a lot of like big topics pretty generally, like generalized.
Yeah.
Um
Can I get more specific?
Take this in whatever direction you'd like, but being mindful of time because I would like to close out in a good way. I don't like to rush. Oh, I wanted to say this one thing actually. So your punani, when you were talking about like massaging your cervix, I don't think it's weird. I love that it came up. Of course it's going to come up because actually our punani is an exact mirror of our mouth.
Yes.
So when you consider like the vagine and the uterus and then like
the jaw and pelvic floor and low back, it's all.
If you look at the shape of the uterus and the I can't even think of the names of the vagine right now.
No.
Anyway,
that's the lack of education we receive about our bodies.
That's a separate dig.
That's a
This one
whole,
is just
yeah,
like,
that's a
honestly,
whole
I just
nother.
need some water. Can't blame the patriarchy for everything. It's still their fault though.
I know. I heard a funny thing. There's this woman I follow on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is Mia Magic, and she does podcasts and stuff all the time. And she was saying, she was like, the funny thing is when men are called pussies for like having emotional experiences, she's like, the pussy is like the strongest, like most resilient thing
she can take a pounding.
Yeah. And like, then also she was like, everyone then tries to get back into it. Like men try to get back into it through their sexual expression and and then women too. And it's just so funny. Yeah. I'm making you cry.
No,
From laughter.
that time I was like wiping my eyes. I think I'm going through like a little afternoon nervous system reset right now. So you were saying you just recently started massaging your punani. I just recently started massaging my mouth.
Ooh, yeah.
I started doing face yoga nightly.
Yeah.
And it has been such a total game changer. I love it so much.
My tongue is yellow from my turmeric toast.
Yeah. I wish you were still eating it, by the way. And since we mentioned it. Yeah, so it started with face yoga and I started seeing such great results immediately, and not just muscularly and with lines, but also like brightness and just also just feeling like my overall expressiveness just feels better. And
what kind of techniques were you doing, like the thumb and on the cheeks and stuff, or what are you doing?
So it started with like face exercises, like just kind of working through, doing the neck and all that good stuff. And then one night I found a really good like night. It's kind of like a face massage / lymphatic drainage. And I really great results from that. And then, I was doing a meditation last week, and I started to go in really deep, but it felt like the tears were locked. Like the emotion passed really quickly, like only 2-3 seconds. And I was like, oh, I'm clear on what I'm releasing. But then it just felt like the tears were stuck. I didn't want to force emotion or like go there. And I just instinctively I stiffed my tongue and I started running it in the perimeter and the inside of my mouth. And a really dramatic, exaggerated clock-like motion. And then just doing that a couple of times, I'm telling you, like faucets, my eyes just started leaking. I was almost like wanting to laugh because it's just joy. Like, yay, I got it. And then I Googled it. I AI'd it after it. It was a somatic release, essentially. Yeah. Our tongue is similar to our hands and our feet. They're reflexology points.
And your ears.
And your ears, that's right. And then you have a bunch of like meridian points, acupuncture points as well in your face and all of that. So ultimately what was happening, and what I love about face yoga, is that it does offer a somatic release. Yeah. It's such a great way to release tension. And that is what all of these lines and wrinkles and holding all of that to help it release. And so that was my entryway into literally like,
that's really cool.
Massaging out this. Girl. Like, I don't know what it is right here.
Oh my God.
I'm smiling.
It hurts.
It just gets so tense. I'm like, just get in there. I'm like, why am I waiting to get with a guy
Uh,
to get it in, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I have fingers. Let me just take care of myself once again. I'm like, oh, this is a different kind of fingering.
Mouth fingering.
But my lips look bigger. My mouth is more relaxed. It doesn't,
Yeah.
it just feels different to smile. So when you started saying that about your punani, I was like, huh, guess I got to bring those.
Both. Well, now I need to do more face yoga. I'll do my gua sha every night.
Right. Yummy.
But it's not quite the same as like really getting in there. My facialist does the massaging, and after I see her,
You don't have to wait
I'm
for
like
her.
so bright. Yeah, I don't have to wait for her either.
No, it's my new thing. I do.
Consistency, right?
It is totally about consistency because it's like going to the gym, right? But it's not that big of a deal. 2 to 8 minutes.
I know.
Do it while you're driving. Not a big deal.
The consistency doesn't have to be long.
No.
It's the same with working out. It's like I'll do 20 minutes a couple times a week, and I have noticed my body gets so much stronger over the last year because of the consistency, where I used to do like an hour once a week or like sporadically. Yeah. So
like, oh, it's 3 hours, then I'm good for a month.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I don't know what that voice is. That's the voice of a beehive.
I liked it. It was good. Cast us, please.
We're back to the WWE. We're in the ring. I just put it in my night routine. So mind you, I love doing all of my oils and whatnot, but just 2 to 8 minutes. And then what I do is my LED mask. After I do all of my lymph and my oils and then I do my LED mask with my self-guided hypnosis.
My meditation in the morning is my LED mask because it's 10 minutes.
Excellent. Yeah, morning or night is the best. That's when the subconscious mind is most receptive, most impressionable, most suggestible. So that's the best time to do like meditations and affirmations and prayers and just being quiet, sitting in nature, petting your dog. It's the worst idea to open your phone.
Oh,
the worst idea.
Yes. Speaking of phone, there was a funny Instagram meme that was like, I believe in science. And like one person said, I believe in science. The other person said, cool, then like don't open your phone first thing in the morning or like look at it at night right before bed because it'll fuck with your circadian rhythm. And then the other person went, no.
It's like all the scientists being like, no, God's not real. Look at these microbes. God's not real. Anything else? Let's wrap her up. Let's get in the conclusory phase. This is the time. What feels important to say? What do you want to touch back on? What do you want to share? Also, while you're thinking that, I do just want to share one thing because we're here and I just remembered. I just started listening to an audiobook, How to Break Up with Your Phone. Highly recommend it.
Ooh, I've been listening to a really funny podcast that's from like before COVID called My Dad Wrote a Porno. It's so funny. It's these 3 British friends, 2 gay guys and their girlfriend. And one of them, his dad, wrote these like really bad porno books called Belinda Blinked, and they are so fucking funny. I like cannot get enough of it. And I know like the one I'm listening to right now was recorded in 2019 and they're like, yeah, we're going on tour in 2020. And I'm like, oh, little do you know, you're not going on tour. But I don't know if they still do it. Like I'm only on season 5 and they have like season 9. So I think they might still be doing it. But if you want to
talk about the scripts or do they like act out?
He reads it and then they comment on it because it's like
send it to me.
Ridiculous.
Fantastic. It's like a smut podcast.
It is. It's a funny
my kind of humor for sure. Oh my god, like it's super hot and sweaty.
That is not my message to the world.
Hey, you know what? Hold on a second. We cannot suppress our inner wild child. Like we're not always good girls. Yeah, we're Jesus in the streets, and we sure as hell are Satan in the sheets. You know, like it's an exploration of all parts of yourself, and
it's holistic.
The hips, the center, the organs surrounding your tailbone, that whole energy center is a little portal. And by activating it and activating the life force energy in you, there's really nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
do it safely and do it consensually and
Yes.
do it intentionally. That's when
Yes.
it feels
Well, and
best.
intention, yeah. That's what I'm, like, really calling in partnership-wise is, like, intentional partnership, like, growth, that like, sacred sex, right? Like, it is a sacred act. It doesn't have to be taken so seriously, but, like, also, I don't want it to be so flippant. I'm not like, "Oh, just, like, anybody." I'm not, like, dating just to date anymore. It's like, no, I'm gonna be very intentional about who comes into my physical home, my like, as my body, my actual home, like, all those things.
I don't even feel like you have to wait for a partner, and I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
important not to. Even when you do
Yeah.
have a partner, I think it's really important to have time to sexually and sensually explore yourself.
Yeah.
Another way of saying that is a time to really just connect with your physical body.
Yeah.
That could just be like massage, that could just be like gentle stroking or holding your face.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um, there's also something to be said about, like, sexual manifestations, like working with your sexual energy to
Yeah, 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 yeah.
create in your reality, but those are just,
Yeah.
like, huge chunk snippets.
Yeah.
We don't even have to get into all that, that's enough. But
Yeah.
just to kind
Love
of
that.
bring buoyancy to, anyone that's judging or feeling shame or guilt around the conversation
Yeah, or,
of
like, uncomfortable or
are
whatever.
uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not an advocate for porn. I do think that that there is an addiction there and that is something to be taken seriously. And at the same time,
I need to be afraid of the human body and, like, the sensations and, like, the pleasure, like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
also here for that. And
100.
interestingly, to, like, bring it all full circle,
Oh,
as I
please.
was saying in the very beginning, that I love to live in the upper chakras, and so I think via your hypnotherapy and the healing work we've done together, it's, like, opened up the access to the lower chakras because they're deeply connected, right? Like, this
Mm,
the throat chakra and the root chakra are so connected to each other, and, like,
mm.
physically speaking and energetically, and the sacral chakra with the
Yeah, but
throat.
also, what I'm realizing it was we really did some great work around your first chakra, which is your sense of belonging and a sense of security and safety. If you're
Mhm.
constantly apologizing for being chosen and for essentially for living in your light, then of course it's going to be easier to not be here, to be out there and because
Yeah.
you're kind of in the abstract
Mm.
dancing around it instead
Yeah.
of really embodying it and being in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's so wonderful to witness you and such an unapologetic era.
Thank
Yummy.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
for helping me just
Oh,
remember all of that.
what an honor. Truly.
Oh.
It's really such an honor. It feeds me as much as it does you in its own way, and I'm so grateful.
And everyone should
Um,
do hypnotherapy with
if it calls to you,
Alicia.
please, if it calls
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
Um, thank you so much for sharing all that you did and
Thank
just
you.
allowing the conversation to take all of its turns. Is there anything that else that you'd like to share before I kind of lead us into our closing questions?
Yeah. No, just like thank you. This was so fun.
It was so fun, right?
It was so fun.
It
So
was way
easy.
easier that, it's taken me so long to arrive here. And now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, huh.
That's what happened to
It was
me
all in my head.
when I was filming my pilot on Tuesday. It was like so much, I was like so
Yeah.
nervous and doing all the, and then once we did it, it
Yeah.
was like, oh, that was so easy, right? When you're in
But
alignment.
hold on. I've learned that whenever I say, oh, that was so easy, it is for sure every single time, years and years, like putting in the hours for that one moment to be like, huh, yeah, no. You ready for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't have been able to do that a couple years ago. Like
I couldn't
even
have recorded this conversation if it
no.
wasn't for me getting certified to have the session to then arrive here.
I
So
know. I'm like,
there is a timing aspect.
if I hadn't been like teaching in school, like I teach kids yoga in preschools, if I hadn't done that for so many years and built up my stamina, I wouldn't have been able to shoot for 5 hours doing yoga poses and like all this shit and like keep my energy up and bright and da 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 da.
Stamina, that
Yeah.
is a real thing.
Yeah. And so, yes,
Yeah, you've been
all
training.
on time and in time. And it was only easy in these moments because of what foundation we built for ourselves.
It's like 2 actors just showing you a solid yes and over and over again. Okay, let's play a little game.
Okay.
If I gave you a megaphone, and not if, I am, give you a little megaphone to say something to the world, to people that are ready to listen or listen, whether it's soon or way in the future, whenever they find it. What would you like to say to the world?
Whoa, that's so wild. And then I go beep, 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 beep.
It's our invocation.
Tell me what to say, spirit. I don't know.
Beep, beep. She said the way she channels is she first does like dial-up sounds.
I am a child of the 90s. If you're in your 20s, you have no idea what we're talking about. Okay.
Those vintage things.
Anyway, this is not what I would say to the world. What would I say to the world? If you're looking to tap deeper into your own personal joy that is already there, the light that's always there, it's a little dim, and you would like some reminder of the fact that you get to brighten it up yourself, I can help with that. And you can come find me for either Reiki or a yoga class I teach in Silver Lake. And I'm A Reed, A-R-E-E-D on Instagram. Or if you just want to laugh, I do some funny voiceover things on there too. I kind of combined everything. Or lastly, if you have children, my pilot, it's to come out sometime soon in 2026. It's called Lil Bodhi and Me, and it's kids yoga, and it's me and a Bodhi tree going on adventures and doing yoga and moving our bodies. So planting the seed for all of this healing and movement and joy for your kids too. And it's fun for adults to like follow along and do. Like if you need a bonding moment with your child, or you're like, I gotta wash the dishes, throw on Lil Bodhi and Me, go wash the dishes, and you know they're gonna be safe and good.
I'm so excited. I'm sending all the good vibes and growth and abundance your way on that. Yes. If you could give some advice to an individual who's really struggling to unlock their voice and with their own healing journey, what would you say to them?
I would say go inward. Go inward, go inward, even though it's scary. And sometimes like the thoughts that are passing through don't even feel like your own, or if they're feeling like really dark, trust the darkness. I'm literally reading A Wrinkle in Time right now, which is a children's book. They're fighting the darkness, but the only way they're doing that is through the light and through the arts and through creativity. And they literally say in this book, like, the darkness is like in the entire universe. It's not just over Earth. And the humans that have facilitated the movement and breaking up of this darkness are the artists. Shakespeare, Bach, who else did they mention? Van Gogh. Like they mention all these like super famous artists. So tune into yourself. Get quiet. I know it's scary. A lot of people are like, I can't meditate. I don't know how. I have too many thoughts. I'm too loud. That's the practice. Getting familiar with those and then like focusing in on the silence. It's never going to be fully quiet. Let the thoughts move and explore them, like play in there. Play once you're like in. Yeah. Nobody's good at meditation. It's you get to make it your own. So yeah.
It's a practice.
It's a practice.
And a nonlinear one. Like you'll find your commitment to meditating long term. It will, you'll come in. Sometimes you'll really want it guided. Sometimes you want it more traditional. Sometimes, it will shift.
It will shift. It will shift. And like play around and see what works for you. Sometimes guided meditation works really well and then you stick with it. Sometimes just a mantra. Just like sometimes I just sit and go, I am love, I am love, I am love. And then my thoughts come in and I think about what I'm going to eat for lunch. And then I'm like, oh, I am love, I am love. And then like, oh, my next week is going to be stressful. I have to do, and I am love. So it's like that return back. And
a myth people think about meditation is like the goal is to get rid of thoughts. No, that's ridiculous.
You can't do that.
You can't, that's not the goal. The goal is when your mind does stray, bringing it back,
Bringing it
bringing it
back.
back.
And then that's what gets easier
that
as you
muscle flex of
continue.
bringing it back, what you're doing is you're strengthening the seat of the observer. You're increasing your ability to watch things unattached. You
Yeah.
see things happening as separate from you. It helps with victim mindset. It helps with perspective. It helps with mastering our emotions
Right.
when the
But
going gets
not
tough.
disregarding our emotions, right? Mastering them, feel them, let them move through you, let the tears come, let the anger
Yeah.
come, and then detach from it by being like, whoa, that's the thing. I'm not going to react to it. I'm going to feel it and let it happen. I'm not going to let the emotion guide me to go yell at someone. You know, it's like, oh, okay, let me feel it. And then like, whew, okay. And then I'll like, be like, you can watch the anger and be like, what is it? What's in there? What's in there? It's like, it's going to help you learn about yourself. And like, we're here to learn about ourselves, about being human. Like, how fucking fun. Even if you're there's a beautiful poem by Rumi.
Guess
And
us.
yeah, yes, the guess.
I
Thank
love it.
you. It's one of my
Me
favorites.
too.
Yeah, you should put that, like, link
I
that in
do. I
the.
have it. I'll send it to you later, but I actually recorded it, so to put my voiceover on it, I'll send it to you.
Please
Yeah, I love that
do.
poem.
I used to read that in my yoga classes all the time. I'll bring that back today. I have a class this
Gorgeous. I'll
afternoon.
also include it in the show notes for
Yeah.
people interested. But basically, Rumi invites us to treat any feeling that comes through our body as a sacred guest, and to treat it with love and respect and tenderness. And it's an invitation to nurture ourselves and
look,
to be gentle and compassionate.
that's so easy to do when you're in joy and love and
Yeah.
happiness.
But
But
when you're
when you're
pissed off,
in a depression,
yeah.
my other
Yeah.
favorite quote about depression is Jim Carrey saying it's just your character being like in the wrong movie or being
A
like
deep rest from who you actually
deep
are,
rest.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's like a deep rest to become a different character.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Really
Okay.
good stuff. Thank you again.
It was delightful. Thank you for listening. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you
Likewise.
for guiding healing sessions. You're magical.
Can't wait to see your show.
Lil Bodie and me.
Boo-boo.
Yay.